Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DLloyd, and welcome back to another episode of our Washington Redskins Madden 20 Connected Franchise Series. So, our regular season is over. We finished with a record of 9-7, but unfortunately, we were a game away from actually reaching the playoffs. So, no playoffs in year one, but regardless, I think it was an okay season, especially looking at we're a 76 overall team. But I asked in the last video, I was basically saying I was going to go through the playoffs and then play the Pro Bowl. Some of you guys said skip the Pro Bowl and go straight to the offseason. So that's what we're going to do here in this episode. So we will look at the season stats. We'll look at the awards. We'll simulate through the postseason and then go into the offseason. So when you look at our team here, of course, Dwayne Haskins Jr., 12 TDs, 13 picks for the season, 2,500 yards passing. But you have to remember, he also had a 5-interception game to 0 touchdowns. That definitely affected his touchdown-interception ratio. Case Keenum, who started the year, finished with 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Both completed around the same percentage, 63 to 64. But Case Keenum, because he didn't have those interceptions, had a 98.1 quarterback rating compared to 81.5. So Dwayne Haskins is our quarterback moving forward. There's really not a competition. We gave him the range. We let him kind of progress as a player and get his overall a little bit higher. Now he is sitting at a 77. So I had to go back and look. 77 overall, has star development. He's our guy, 23 years old. Of course, Case Keenum contract is up. Maybe we'll bring him back as a backup. Maybe we'll look elsewhere as a backup. But Dwayne Haskins is our guy moving forward. And I don't think Dwayne Haskins has a high injury rating. I know he did get hurt at one point in the season, but it wasn't bad at all. 93 injury rating. So I'm not really worried about him missing too many games. Rushing, Adrian Peterson went crazy over the last 3 games of the season. 203 attempts, 1,200 yards rushing, 6 yards per carry. Absolutely an incredible year for Adrian Peterson. He did have 5 fumbles. Chris Thompson, his contract is up as well. He had 308 yards, 5.7 yards per carry. Darius Geis keeps getting hurt, which is definitely concerning because we want him to be the guy moving forward, right? But we're going to give him that chance. Bryce Love hopefully should be the guy to replace Chris Thompson since Chris Thompson's contract is up. And that's basically kind of tipping you off where I'm leaning when it comes to the running back spot. I'm leaning on not bringing back Chris Thompson currently. As for our leading receivers, it was Jordan Reed with 72 receptions, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Kind of our safety net. But Trey Quinn came on strong, finished strong, 62 catches, 729 yards, 4 touchdowns. And for a guy who's only like a 73 overall now, I think he started at like a 70. So for a guy to be ranked that low, who really came out of nowhere, especially in preseason, to finish with 62 catches, a pretty solid year. Josh Doctson, very, very up and down season for Josh Doctson. We wanted him really to be that guy. He really didn't. You know, he had a couple of good games here and there, but it was a very disappointing season, at least in my opinion, for Josh Doctson. Paul Richardson Jr. got hurt, but he had 30 catches, 562, and 5 touchdowns. The Terry McLaurin, who took his place, 20 catches, 253 yards, 1 touchdown. As for our defensive guys, Landon Collins with 111 total tackles. Sean Hamilton, 110 total tackles. Josh Norman got a lot of tackles, but if you're a cornerback and you're getting that many tackles, it means one thing: you're giving up a ton of catches, and that's essentially what Josh Norman is. Well, essentially what he did. The one concerning thing about Josh Norman really is that he's up there in age in this contract, right? So next year he's looking at a $15 million deal. I'm not sure if he's going to be back. Honestly, that's a lot of money for a guy like Josh Norman. Maybe we move him to slot, but he's definitely not going to be our outside cornerback. Sean Hamilton definitely surprised a lot of people. He was a guy we really just threw in there because we were a little weak when it came to the middle linebacker spot this year specifically. So for the fact that you still got 110 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 13 tackles for a loss, very solid year. Landon Collins, you guys know what he did. Only 1 interception compared to 5 by Sean Hamilton, but he led us in tackles. And then the forced fumble at 18 forced fumbles from Landon Collins, which is ridiculous. Sean Hamilton had 4. Crazy enough, Landon Collins didn't recover any of those 18 forced fumbles. But yeah, so our defense looked pretty solid when it came to just everybody. Let's look quickly at the whole league, then we'll look at awards, then we'll go ahead and hurry up and sim through this postseason. So Matt Ryan threw for the most yards at 4,900 yards passing. Lamar Jackson, wow, Lamar Jackson finished second in passing yards. Just let that sink in. You know, Lamar Jackson with 4,700 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Crazy year from Lamar Jackson. I probably need to look at his stats running. I know EA does a pretty bad job of simulating rushing stats, or maybe they don't do it at all. And looks like they don't do it at all. 7 rushing yards from Lamar Jackson. EA, you guys definitely need to fix that, because Lamar Jackson was 7 rushing yards at the end of the year, and his longest run was 7 yards. It's pretty bad. Definitely pretty bad. But Josh Allen was up there. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, 34 and 9. Andrew Luck. Look at this stat line from Phillip Rivers, 35 and 4. Crazy year right there from Phillip Rivers. A ton of quarterbacks going over 4,000 yards passing, which is definitely cool to see. Who threw the most interceptions? That could be interesting. Aaron Rodgers was 16, but he threw 35 touchdowns. You'll forgive that. And then Dwayne Haskins with 13. So hopefully we improve that in season 2. As for the leaders in rushing, Todd Gurley with 1,600 rushing yards. Zeke also crossed over 1,600 rushing yards. Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, Mark Ingram had a pretty solid year. Kareem Hunt, clearly he became the guy over there in Cleveland, but his contract should be up. Did they sign him to an extension, or will he be a free agent? That'll be interesting. Joe Mixon. Then we have Adrian Peterson, the old man, 13 years in the game, averaged 101 yards per contest, which was amazing, right? But are we going to bring back Adrian Peterson? That is definitely the question, right? Receivers, Willie Snead led everybody with receptions at 91. Mitty Westbrook, Adam Humphries. These are names you don't expect. These are just receiving yards. Let me look at receptions. Quincy Enunwa, still another name you don't expect to really lead everybody, right? Only receiver to hit 100 receptions. Delaney Walker at 97. Then we're still back to the Cole Beasleys, Austin Hooper, Marquise Lee, Corey Davis. Okay, Corey Davis having a good year. Odell had a solid year as well. AB, 1,200 yards receiving in his first year with the Raiders. Hopkins. Okay, he has some decent names up here. Still names you don't really expect. The most receiving touchdowns was Willie Snead with 13. Travis Benjamin, 12. Pierre Garçon with 12. Westbrook with 12. So, like I said, some different names up there, but it's still cool. Darren Lee led everybody in tackles with 135 of those. Miles Jack had 134. Quan Alexander had 134. So, it looks like the 49ers spent their money in the right direction. Devin Bush, the rookie, 131 total tackles, 5 sacks. Solid year. Who led everybody in sacks? Aaron Donald with 16. DeMarcus Lawrence was very close at 15.5. Myles Garrett at 15. Brandon Graham at 15 as well. Khalil Mack right there though at 14. And then it drops off to guys with 11 sacks. But Sean Hamilton, not bad. 9.5 sacks. He's up there. Interception leaders was Train Wayne, Sean Hamilton, and Justin Reed with 5 interceptions apiece. I think forced fumbles. I don't know why we're going to look at this. Landon Collins, 18. Sean Hamilton with 4. Monte Nicholson with 3. So we had the 3 top guys in forced fumbles. We definitely need to work on those sliders when it comes to fumbling in this game. But yeah, that's basically the main stats, right? Let's look at the yearly awards very quickly. MVP, Todd Gurley. He had 1,600 yards. Can't really complain with that. Anthony Lynn, they went 15-0-1. He deserves Coach of the Year. Let's look at the AFC Offensive Player of the Year. You have Andrew Luck up there. Not bad. Von Miller. Look, Devin Bush, rookie. Second in voting for Defensive Player of the Year for the AFC. Marquise Brown, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Benny Snell Jr., you guys know, I graduated at UK. I love Benny Snell Jr. I think he's going to be a pretty good back. I think he's underrated in the NFL. If you haven't seen his tape, watch his tape at Kentucky. The dude's a beast. Defensive Rookie of the Year, though, Devin Bush, of course. He almost won Defensive Player of the Year, so only makes sense he's there on this list. Best quarterback, Andrew Luck. Best running back, Mark Ingram. That's surprising. Best receiver, Willie Snead. Look at the Ravens cleaning up some awards. Ronnie Hudson, best offensive lineman. Myles Garrett, best defensive lineman. Von Miller, best DB. Justin Reed, best kicker. Justin Tucker, another Baltimore Ravens. So they cleaned up when it came to the AFC's Player of the Year awards. Offensive Player of the Year for the NFC, you have, of course, Todd Gurley, who won MVP. Wow, Defensive Player of the Year is Sean Hamilton. Surprising, 75 overall, and he beat out Landon Collins. So we had the top 2 vote getters on our defense. Sean Hamilton, man. You can't bench a guy who won Defensive Player of the Year, right? We'll have to find out, but that is definitely one heck of a award. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dwayne Haskins Jr. Pretty surprising there, but the Cardinals went 3-13, so maybe that's why Dwayne Haskins got the nod. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Brian Burns. He had a great game even against us. Montez Sweat finished 4th in the rankings there, so not bad. Quarterback of the Year, Matt Ryan. Running back, of course, it was Todd Gurley. Adrian Peterson, though, came in 5th in the conference. Best receiver, Pierre Garçon. Really? The best wide receiver in the NFC? Okay. Best offensive lineman, Zach Martin. A bunch of Cowboys. What is new? I think we had a Redskins on there. We did. Trent Williams came in 7th. So we did get somebody there. Best defensive lineman goes to Aaron Donald. 99 overall. Best linebacker, Sean Hamilton. This is just crazy to me. Ryan Kerrigan was on the list, though, at 6. So we do get some more recognition. Trey Waynes, best DB. I believe we threw a pick to Trey Waynes when we played him, if I'm not mistaken. But Monte Nicholson, okay, came in 3rd. You know who we're not going to see on the list is going to be Josh. Wow. I was just saying we're not going to see Josh Norman on the list, but Josh Norman is 9th when it came to best DB, beating out Landon Collins. What are you guys doing with these votes? Don't know. Gano, best kicker. So those are the awards. Interesting, definitely, to say the least. So let's go ahead. I don't think we have to do anything week by week in the off season. So we're going to go ahead. We will advance to the Super Bowl. I'm fine with not playing the Pro Bowl. Will we be able to see who made the Pro Bowl, though? Is that a thing? I'm not sure. Unless I'm overlooking it. I see yearly awards. Maybe we're overlooking it. But the Super Bowl is the Rams versus the Colts. So somebody beat the 15-0-1 Chargers. And looks like the Chargers lost in the first round to the Colts and got destroyed at that 45-22. So the favorites all year, the team that did not lose, they only had a draw, didn't get past their first game of the playoffs, losing at home. I mean, we know the Chargers stadium is not really home field advantage, but surprising. The Patriots went down to the Colts in the championship game. Green Bay made it to the NFC Championship game. So I'm going to say the Rams win this over the Colts. That's my prediction. But let's go ahead and just simulate it through, and we'll see who won. All right, so the Rams did win Super Bowl 23-20. Let's see if we can just pull up the stats for just that game. It's preseason Super Bowl. Here we go. 23-20. Was it even close? It looks like it was pretty close. The Rams outscoring them 13-6 in the fourth quarter. More yards by the Colts offensively. Jared Goff 2 touchdowns. Andrew Luck 1 touchdown. They both played pretty well. Todd Gurley 109 yards. Did not get into the end zone. Marlon Mack had 79 yards off of just 11 carries. That's a 7.2 yards per carry average. T.Y. Hilton, 10 catches in the Super Bowl. Chester Rogers with 7. Cooper Kupp had 4. Devin Funchess had 7. So a lot of guys going off for the Colts here in the Super Bowl. Then defensively, Robbie Coleman had 12 tackles. Kenny Moore with 9. So Rams, your Super Bowl champs. Especially with Todd Gurley being, more healthy. I could definitely see that. We have a couple of guys to upgrade really quick. Of course, Sean Hamilton gets 3 upgrade points. My man Sean Hamilton may be a staple on this team after that last season. All of them going to go to field general. That is going to boost him up a ton. Awareness, tackle, zone coverage. Cool. See what he gets again. Put him up to a 76 now in our scheme. Block shedding, play rec, and zone coverage. And his final one, taking him up to a 77. Not only is he going to stay, he may be our #1 linebacker again. Just imagine that one. Acceleration went up, block shedding, man coverage, and zone coverage. Sean Hamilton. Sean Hamilton, man. I'm going to just keep saying that. Amazing season. Dude, amazing season. Dwayne Haskins, he gets 1 upgrade, but he's already a 77. So coming in at a strong 78 for his second season. First full-time season as the guy, I don't think that's bad. His awareness, play action, mid accuracy, throw on the run, throw under pressure is something that we definitely want to work on. That goes up 1. So his throw under pressure now is at an 81. He gets the +1 because of his morale. But that is good. We want his throw under the pressure to go up. I think that is a lot of the reason also why he gets those inaccurate throws. You see it at the bottom on a lot of them, but definitely could try to improve that. So let's go ahead, figure out who we want to re-sign quickly, and then kind of go about our way in that way. Let's look at our team really quickly just to kind of see where we're at. Just with everybody before we make some of these re-signings. So Chris Thompson is a guy, of course. Oh, AP looks like he retired. I hate that they don't have a dedicated screen for retired players. I feel like that is a simple thing that they should really add. So Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie retired. In his final game, he had a pick 6. Adrian Peterson retired. Colt McCoy, he retires. So 3 guys who end up leaving our team. Let's see if we can just see who else retired. Is there a... Here we go. We do have a special section. Andre Whitworth is out of there. Julian Edelman retired. Tom Brady retired. So all of a sudden, the Patriots not as dominant as they just were. Jason Witten, maybe he's going to rejoin Monday Night Football. Yonder retired. Jason Peters, yes, we will take that. Get rid of a Pro Bowl left tackle. Hopefully Montez Sweat now could get to the quarterback. Drew Brees is going to retire. Darren Fells, Jonathan Joseph, Cameron Wake, Delaney Walker. So a couple of notable guys. Danny Amendola, he had a 98-yard run against us. Eli Manning. Okay, so that's going to be Jones's team now. Joe Stanley, Matt Schaub, Terrell Suggs, Larry Fitzgerald calls it quits. A couple of free agents are going to retire as well. And Andy Reid is going to retire. So it's interesting to see how that Chiefs offense is going to change. I don't know if Madden goes that in depth. If they add a new coach, the offense is going to change. But it'll be interesting to kind of figure that out. All right, so Kelvin Harmon, we'll re-sign him. He wants a 1-year deal. I know a lot of you guys, I'm not naturally a Redskins fan. I'm a Titans fan. So I don't know all of the intricacies of the roster. But a lot of people like Kelvin Harmon. So let's go ahead, offer Kelvin Harmon a 2-year deal instead of a 1-year deal. And we'll keep him on the team right there. Donald Payne, we will let go. Maybe we'll bring him back. Some of these guys we will bring back in regular free agencies that's like on 1-year deals as opposed to 2-year deals. We'll try to get them a little bit cheaper. Gerald Hodges, we just signed him. We needed to. Vernon Davis contract is up, but a 1-year $3.9 million. I don't know if the regression hits now or if it will hit like soon as we sign him. But a 77 overall. We have $35 million in cap space. We will offer it to him, and he's not interested in signing. So okay. Chris Thompson, 3 years, $13 million. He's already 29. I think we will skip, like I was thinking before. Josh Doxson, we are definitely going to skip, but I'm open to bringing Josh Doxson back less years, a little bit cheaper, if he doesn't have that much interest in free agency. Case Keenum, 1 year, $11 million. Not going to happen. Caleb Brantley, we will let go. Eric Flowers, 1 year, $2 million. It's not terrible. Doesn't really do much for us in our scheme, but he's an okay guy. So we signed Eric Flowers, and I think everybody else we are going to let go. So that's where we stand. Let's now go to free agency, see who's out there. We should have about $30-ish million, unless we get rid of Josh Norman. $36 million in cap space. Kareem Hunt is available. Looks like he may be going to the Bills. Kendall Fuller. We need a cornerback, man. Is it Kendall Fuller? AJ Green is a free agent. What? What is Cincinnati doing to allow AJ Green to be a free agent? That may be our receiver right there. Literally. Could be AJ Green. Ngaku's out there. Miles Jack, Eric Berry, Ryan Shazier. You have some names. Derrick Henry is out there. Oh, man. Imagine the Titans releasing Derrick Henry and not having a running back. But anyway, Kyle Rudolph. You have some names. We definitely have some guys who are out there. See, this some backup quarterbacks potentially. Teddy Bridgewater, you're not getting a $38 million deal. But like maybe a Ryan Tannehill. Maybe even the Case Keenum again. If they don't get offers, I'm lowballing these guys, and we're going to see if any of them sign. RG3, bring him back. So we will see. But I do want to see what we want to do, of course, with Josh Norman. So age did not do him well. Josh Norman drops to a 76 overall now. I believe he was like an 83, in the low 80s last season. 86 speed now. His zone is terrible. Man coverage is pretty decent. We run a lot of zones, so I mean it makes sense why he was just getting burnt a ton. If we released Josh Norman, let me see. I don't know how his deal is structured. I don't know if it's a bonus or if it's just. Let's see. If we release Josh Norman, how much of a cap penalty will we see? That is definitely the question. We'll just go here. I don't feel like going to salaries right now. $3 million in cap hits. We free up $12 million. We're going to do it. So Josh Norman has been released. We will clear up some money. Maybe we could use that on Fuller. Bring him in here. But here's our roster too before we go into free agency. Our offensive line is a huge need, of course, for us. Trent Williams, I think it's just a matter of time before he hangs it up. But, you know, we still have him. So we want to, we re-sign Christian. But if we could get a good, decent left tackle late in the draft, probably. I don't want to spend money on them in free agents. That would be good. We re-signed Eric Flowers. Center, we may be okay. Really, left guard, we definitely need an upgrade. Our offensive line played a lot better as we got through the season, and we're running a lot of zone runs and runs to the outside. Darius Geis is going to be our running back. We have Paul Richardson, and right now we have Trey Quinn. You guys know I'm going to want Trey Quinn at slot. Really want Paul Richardson at slot. Really want Terry McLaurin at slot. I like big receivers. So AJ Green, maybe he'll be a Redskin, man. That's something I think could happen. Sean Hamilton's rating is ridiculous. It's just amazing to me, guys. I'm sorry I keep throwing his name up there. Reuben Foster is going to be our second middle linebacker once he comes off of injury. He's just hurt right now, but next year it will be Reuben Foster. So we'll have Sean Hamilton, Reuben Foster as our middle linebackers. Ryan Kerrigan, At 32, maybe we'll start looking at right or left outside linebacker. Sweat is going to be fine. Landon Collins is fine. Cornerback is definitely questionable. To say the least, it's questionable. And maybe Monte Nicholson stays. Not really worried about anything there. Then we have our kicker. We have our punter. Okay, so we should have a little bit more in cap space, more than the $36 million it says. Yes, $49 million in cap space now. We will offer Kendall Fuller a lot of money. Well, let's look at his stats. Let's make sure he can play some zone. 85 zone, 90 man. He could do both. 90 speed. Injury rating a little bit low. But he went to Virginia Tech. Let's do it, man. So let's offer him. We're going to pay him. We're going to pay him a lot of money. 4 years, $61 million. For Kendall Fuller, he'll be 29 years old. And that's still less than what the Seahawks offered. I don't know what they offered him. I'm going to think about if we want to beat that. AJ Green, 87 overall. He has X factor. He has a couple of abilities. He has a double me X factor. Run sharper routes, crossing routes, streak routes. Oh, if they go to a 90, so he's probably not going to have that unlocked, especially at his age. So AJ Green, 6'4", 3 years, he'll be 35. Will AJ Green be worth it when he is 35? I don't know. He's probably going to be upset. We're going to bring down the signing bonus. And we're going to up the salary so we can try to get out of his deal if he regresses. And he's probably not going to want it. But we're going to give him more money than what he asked for. But if we could get... This signing bonus is going to be real low. I'm being cheap, guys. And we're probably not going to get him because of this. But we're going to up his salary. Like, literally... You have the potential to make $48 million over 3 years, but we just don't want that guaranteed money. Yeah, he hates that deal. Hates it a lot, but I mean, his second is more than what Tampa Bay. It's more than what Tampa Bay offered. Okay, so running backs, there's a lot of decent ones out there, especially with Kareem Hunt. Looks like he's going to Buffalo. But we're going to take the chance with Darius Geis just not getting hurt. Maybe a backup running back is a guy we go later if none of these guys really get signed. Just to have a traditional back instead of Bryce Love if something does happen that does have a little bit of power behind him. Chris Thompson, I don't know if we want to bring him back, but we could definitely lowball him. But there's a lot of guys who are decent. Like Isaiah Crowell. Like a guy... He doesn't have a lot of power. Or Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard would be great as a number 2. Because we'll just put, even though he has a higher rating, we'll put Darius Geis there. Maybe we'll bring him in after that. For the rest of the wide receivers, though, you have Nelson Aguilar. We do have Josh Gordon, who does give us some of that size a little bit. But Josh Doctson, he got an offer from the Patriots, so maybe he is gone. Maybe we don't go back that route. Demaryius Thomas, maybe for a year. What does he have left? Just to be an outside wide receiver. Of course, we can always look into the draft. Left guard is definitely a position that we could take an upgrade right now, but there's really nobody. There's really nobody there. That's a little disappointing. Center, we can upgrade, but we have a very good contract on Roulier. I believe that's how you say our center's name now. So maybe we don't make that move. We just paid Scherf a lot of money. Mo gets paid a lot of money. Our defensive line is good. Our outside linebacker position, Kerrigan gets paid a ton of money. Middle linebackers, you guys know we are fine apparently because Sean Hamilton is that guy. So we're fine there. We're not going outside linebacker. So right now, basically what I'm trying to do is let's make sure we not spend our money, but we get the top guys. Then we'll see who doesn't get offers. Then we'll start lowballing guys to fill out the rest of our roster pretty much after this. But Ronald Darby isn't a bad cornerback, and he doesn't have any offers. Like, not one. He has the speed. Zone coverage isn't the highest, but he could catch. Maybe we offer Ronald Darby something. We may be able to lowball him. Trey Waynes just wins cornerback of the year, and he doesn't have anything. He's just looking for a 1-year deal, which is crazy. He's only out 7 weeks. Okay, so I don't mind Quentin Dunbar being like our 3rd cornerback, but I don't want him to be like our number 1 or 2. So let's raise our offer then on Kendall Fuller. See if we could just outbid the Seahawks, really. And maybe we'll just move up his signing bonus. I don't plan on releasing him over these 4 years. At least that's the plan. Of course, anything can happen. So let's go there. $64 million. That puts us at 98. So that gives us more value than the Seahawks offer. Ronald Darby now. We're at $26 million in cap space. That's if we signed AJ Green, but we're probably going to need to upgrade AJ Green if we really want him. Ronald Darby, 3 years, man. But all right, so we'll keep the bonus because he's 26. I don't see him regressing. Let's lower this salary down like a lot. Definitely a lot. Like, we're going to crazy lowball him. But let's just see if somebody else comes to the table after a week or so. Maybe nobody does, and we're able to get Ronald Darby. But we're the only offer right now. He wanted 3 years, 31. We gave him 3 years, 24. Take a discount, man. You'll start for us at outside. Safeties, Nicholson's fine. There's nobody there that we want to replace him with. And then we're cool there. All right, so initial run through. We're going to need to upgrade a lot. So let's just go back to get him close to that 40 million. Or maybe we go 2 years with AJ Green. Maybe that's the better option, right? Well, let me do this just to make sure I know how much I'm offering him. All right, so we're going to move his signing bonus back up to basically that $4 million, which he wanted initially, right? Move that back up. Move it actually a little bit higher because it's only 2 years. We're not going to release AJ Green in the next 2 years. So 4.5 is a lot of money. So that's guaranteed. The way Madden works, that's the guaranteed money, right? So 4.5 million over the 2 years, which means we will drop the salary. Let's go to 10.5, drop it to 2 years. So basically $30 million over 2 seasons. That's very close. Maybe we could come up a little bit on the salary and the bonus. 31 million over 2 years. I think that's the safest thing from AJ Green, just because he's 87. I'm sure he will regress. But yeah, so we'll advance. Let's see if we sign any of them. And we got AJ Green, and Fuller rejected our deal. Wow. But we did get AJ Green, so we got an outside wide receiver. Cornerback. We missed that on the guy we really wanted, which was Fuller. Where did he sign? Let's see where he signed. He signed with the Seahawks, and the Seahawks upped their bid to 102 points. That sucks, dude. That definitely sucks. All right, so back available. Now Ronald Darby has a lot of offers, of course, because he's the next top guy. But we can't go 0-4 when it comes to trying to get one of these cornerbacks. Okay. So our scheme is man-to-man, but we run a lot of zone. Maybe Aqib Talib for a season. What is his? Aqib Talib. That 83 speed, man. You're not staying in front of nobody. What does Mike Hilton bring to the table? He brings not a lot of speed, but he's decent. Looks like the Cowboys want to go after him though. All right, so let's give Ronald Darby 3 years. We're upping our bid a lot. We tried to lowball him. That clearly did not work. He wants 31 million. He got some pretty good deals. So I want to go 3 years. That's why you always negotiate. Somebody's always going to try to lowball you initially, including myself. So here we go. We're going to go try to get that to 35 million. 3 years, 35 million. For Ronald Darby, that's still only second. I can't see us not grabbing a corner. But at the same time, I don't want to overpay for a corner. Maybe we just go Trey Wayne. His zone coverage is so bad. Keep Talib, like we just look. Keep Talib can cover. He's just super slow, unless you put him at slot. Maybe you move Keep Talib now to slot. And maybe we do that and we just offer Keep Talib a 1-year deal because he has no other offers. Let's go 1 year for Keep Talib. Tremaine Johnson, what is his zone is at 83, but his speed is not there. Okay, Jonathan Jones. We're just looking at it. Ooh, that zone coverage is not going to cut it, man. All right. Janoris Jenkins. 76. Isn't that great? But we could get Janoris Jenkins for for super cheap. Like, I'm lowballing the $4 million. No. Ooh, I went way too far on that one. Almost went to a $3 million deal. All right, so I'm a $31 million deal, not happening. $3 million for Janoris Jenkins. Let's see what other negotiations do we currently have out there. Darby to leave. It's really these corners. Let's see what Wild Patriots may get Ryan Shazier. What happened with Kareem Hunt? Because I thought the Bills were going to get Kareem Hunt. They did. And they're trying to get... Okay. They're trying to get Derrick Henry and Kareem Hunt. Sure. Jordan Howard's going to get a low ball deal. Especially if Ndamukong Suh's out there. Especially if nobody else is offering him. Damian Williams. If we could just bring... Why not, man? This is Geis's show. We're going to give him a 1-year deal. 1 year. Not going to lowball him crazy, but $4 million for 1 season, a backup running back, just in case something happens to Darius Geis. You know he couldn't really stay on the field too much last season, but you have to go ahead and scout. So one thing I did not show, trying to make sure this video is not crazy long, and it's already getting up there. So this may be a long video. Randy Barton did win the Heisman at defense. He's a left outside linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't really think there's a bunch else there in terms of the scouting. But let's look at the cornerbacks again. So a couple of first-round guys that we added to our list. We have Brendan Agnew, right? He had man coverage. He fits our scheme. I mean, we could always transition to a more blitz-heavy scheme if we could get the guys who could guard man-to-man. That's why we went zone last year, because we just didn't have those guys. So I'm not against that at all. He looks decent. Ran a 4.5. But he's an early first-round guy. Mark Briggs, mid-first rounder. He's a realistic target. He has good man coverage at B. And we picked 20th. That's where we pick. So we don't have a second rounder. So it's really we go first rounder, or we have to wait. So this guy has the speed. He has the man coverage ability. Rashad Sweats. I mean, he doesn't look terrible. Walter Bean. I liked him because he had the man and the zone coverage. He's kind of the best of both worlds. Slot guy projected to go late second round. I don't know if we'll be able to realistically get him. And there was really no other cornerbacks. So, yeah, there's really no other cornerbacks. So that was kind of disappointing. So it's either sign these guys or, you know, or we're pretty much out of luck. Running backs, I like this Marvin Cruz guy. I feel like he dropped. I feel like he was higher than this. This guy looks like a beast to me. Like, he looks like he could come in and really be that guy. We just have Darius Geis. But if Marvin Cruz falls, you know, we may go after him. Jarrell Townsend. He looks decent, but he's more of an elusive guy. I'm trying to think where we want to use this first round pick at, if we use it at all, right? I believe there was Quincy Wembley. There was a guy I liked, and it looked like he dropped. Early second round, early first round talent. I don't know what happened, but Quincy Wembley may be the guy. I know we just signed AJ Green. We can have both of them on the outside and have Paul Richardson or Trey Quinn at slot. I have no issues with that at all. Let's look at left guard. We scouted a lot of them, but we do really just want to make sure now we're just scouting everybody. This guy looks very good in the late third round. This dude had 34 reps on the bench, so you know he has the strength. He looks good. So maybe these left guard guys, Dallas Herbert, Bryant Hunt, maybe that's where we go. Center, I think, like I said, I think we're okay. Look at right tackles. Kent Phillips looks good. Late first round, early first round grade. If he's there, maybe this is the move. Kent Phillips, see if you can trade into that second round, and then get the receiver in the second round. Maybe that's the move. But this guy looks good, and this guy's projected to go in the fourth round. He doesn't look as good as Kent Phillips, but for a fourth round grade, it looks like a lot of linemen are late in this draft. He doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like these other guys, but he doesn't look bad either. We have a ton of points that we need to spend. I looked at outside. This is the guy who won the Heisman. He looks good. I just don't want to spend a first rounder on the left outside linebacker. Even though I know at some point we're going to need one. Let's just look at some of more of these corners, man. No. Sheldon Lee, zone's decent, man's decent. This guy could be okay. Sean Kendall. No. We're going to use the rest of our points on corners, just to see if we could find somebody that I may have overlooked. Like this Corey Groves guy. I don't know how good he is, but it's a late third rounder. He has the zone coverage ability. We'll add him to the list. Tony Franklin. He doesn't look that good. Donovan Clay. Sammy Norton. Okay. Sammy Norton looks decent. Fifth round guy. Oh, F man coverage. Oh, yeah, he's pretty bad. All right. So let's go ahead and advance the week. See if we sign any of these cornerbacks. So we got Ronald Darby. We got Aqib Talib. So bam. 2 corners. Not the greatest guys. 2 corners. We're running out of money now. $14 million. Currently, our negotiations are Jordan Howard. He's going to Buffalo. Is trying to get every running back. Where are we at? 44 minutes. Janoris Jenkins. Maybe he still comes. We're going to just take our offer back from Jordan Howard because that's not going to happen. But some of these running backs should be available after the draft on a 1-year deal. It's probably the best route for us. Maybe when it comes to running backs, we could bring back Chris Thompson. Well, never mind. The Dolphins give him a deal. All right, quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill. These guys are getting taken up. RG3 even has a decent offer. I don't want to sign one of these guys long term. So maybe we wait, see who's unsigned after free agency, and then go that direction. Who signed Case Keenum? The Saints did. Of course they did. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I don't think we signed anybody. So let's go ahead. Time purposes, let's try to get through this draft pretty decently quick. I don't want this video to be crazy long, maybe a little over an hour or so. That would be good. So we have some guys left, like Alex Collins, CJ Anderson, Trey Waynes is available. Okay, so we have some guys that we could go to. Goskowski. We have some guys that we could go to at cornerback, even though we have Ronald Darby, who just signed to that 3-year deal. Keep Talib on 1 year. We have some decent guys. Janoris Jenkins had an offer from us, did not want to sign, and now he's jobless. So let's go ahead, and I do want to try to trade into the second round. Well, let's see how this draft starts first, right? Let's see if we could get our guy, that lineman, early. Let's see who goes the first couple picks, though. So the first pick by the Cardinals. Wow, the cornerback that we had on our list, Brendan Agnew, goes first, 75 overall. Not bad. To the Cardinals' second overall pick, Raleek Brown. And let me just do this draft board so I kind of know where we want. Quincy Wembley is already literally on top of my board. So middle linebacker, I don't think we really need to go there right now. So let's put Kent Phillips up here just because he's the late first round guy. There's a couple of linebackers. I pretty much try to place everybody by round, so it's just easier for me to kind of see who's there. That's how I set up my draft board. I know everybody sets up their draft board a little bit differently, but I just set it up by round. Because I really don't like overdrafting, like reaching on a lot of guys. I will reach for, like, you know, the right players, but we added quite a few guys to the list. So a couple of second rounders, even though, like I said, we don't have a second round pick, but if we could trade and get an early second round pick, and that could maybe give us Wembley, I'm not opposed to that idea. Well, it's the idea I want to go with, so I'm more than not opposed to it. And I'm going to probably put this out on one raw thing, just so I can get this out to you guys the next day. As you guys are watching this, I'll be at work, so that is our idea. So yeah, so Kent Phillips, I think, is the guy we really want to go with here in the first round. If he's gone, then yeah, we'll go with Quincy Wembley, because he's our #1 guy overall at that 6'6". Not the fastest guy, but I don't really care too much about that. So the third pick from the Chiefs, Sidney Walker. So that was one of the linebackers on the list, 75 overall. I'm not going to go through all of the picks, at least the top 10. Blair Murray, the top quarterback. So it looks like the Giants going quarterback back-to-back seasons, 72 overall. Jared Reynolds, left end, going 5th. Okay, Javonte Walls, 75 overall wide receiver. But he's not the #1 receiver on my list, and he's a 75. I'm feeling good about Wembley. Choice, we had him as a left outside linebacker, 77. Good pick by the Titans. 8th spot goes to the Bucks. Randy Barton. That is the guy who won the Heisman. He should have a high development grade. The 9th pick, Tyler Jenkins. Very good, 77. That's a great pick at that spot. Then the 10th pick is Mark Briggs. He went pretty early. I want to say he had a second round grade. So we'll go ahead and go to our pick now, just for time purposes. We're sitting here at just under 50 minutes. So 49ers, 65 overall at 19. That is not, it's not what you're looking for. So let's see who is here. So our right tackle is gone. All right, so he is definitely gone. Marvin Cruz is there. So maybe if we can trade down, we can do that, but we'll have to get something back this year, like second round pick this year. And a lot of these, like 43, but just to get a 7th back, we're going to just go and get our guy. There's really nothing that's good enough to risk him not being there. And he looks amazing to me. He has the catch in traffic, the spec catch. He's 6'6". He gets off the line of scrimmage with that A- release. Quincy Wembley's our guy. He is our guy. And normal development, 73 overall though. First round pick. See the speed, 87 speed. So the catching is only a 74. His potential catch 85. So a little underwhelming, I'm not going to lie, especially for our first pick. But he was 8 in true talent, and we got him at 20. It kind of just shows you where this draft is. Not bad, though. It's not bad at all. I wish his development was a little bit higher, but he's not bad. So Quincy Wembley, we'll take it. So we don't pick into the 3rd round now. Late in the 3rd round, 20th pick. So who from our board is going to be there? I'm really not quite sure. Just really happy we got AJ Green, though. At least we got somebody. Okay, so all of the guys that we had in 3rd round are gone. So we just have a few guys here. Left guard from our list. I try to draft off this board. I think that's just the safest because we need a left guard who maybe can play immediately, maybe not, depending on the grade. So let's go Dallas Herbert at left guard. 69 overall, but he has hidden development. So right away, he may be better than Eric Flowers. I believe Eric Flowers is a 61 agile guy. He's a 60. But you know he's going to at least be a star. So we'll take it. 33 in true talent. We got him at 84. Not bad. So we got a good pick there in the 3rd round. All right, so our 4th round pick. Let's see who's back on our draft board is like depleted. All right, so we have a right tackle. It's early 6th rounder. So he's either we can. Do we have a 5? Yeah, we do have 5. Okay, we don't have a 6. That's what it was. I really don't need a free safety. I really don't need a right tackle. But he looks. We're gonna go Justin Peppers. See if that right tackle's there in the 5th. Justin Peppers, 63 overall. We reached there. 130 in true talent. We got him at 116. It's not terrible. It's 84 speed, which isn't good. Definitely don't like that one. His speed. So let's see if that right tackle is there. If not, our draft board is done. No, he's gone. So a lot of guys going early. So now we're basically drafting. This is my fault for not using all my skill points. I didn't want this video to be too long. And it's coming back to bite us, guys. So it looks like we are drafting blindly, or at least with people that we didn't love. This quarterback didn't look awful. I don't know if we want a quarterback. I mean, he has undrafted talent, which should be the dead giveaway not to maybe go after him. So we have 3 picks left. 2 picks in the 7th round. Maybe just a fullback. I mean, we need a fullback. This guy he ran a 4.8, led everybody in bench press. Just go there. 70 overall. We needed a fullback. So 27th in true talent. We'll take it. We will definitely take it. So now we're going to the 7th round, which we're definitely drafting in the dark end. Now we just went fullback 7, so that should tell you kind of our draft plan at this point is very shaky. But we're not going to draft the guy with the F coverage. That's for sure not going to happen. I'm about to go against every judgment. No, I'm not. There's no way I can draft him. Okay. We are literally drafting blind. So it's either looking at combine grades or looking at whatever grades are available, or trade out of here and have a more thorough draft next year. If we traded this pick, can we get a 6th rounder next year? We get a 5th rounder next year. Okay. So trading out of this pick will probably be more beneficial to us. I'm trying to think which of these teams giving us a 5th round pick could suck, like the Lions. Trade it to the Lions. And maybe we'll trade away our last 7th round pick and see what we can get back in return. We can get a 6. Okay. So we'll definitely do that. Let's see which one of these teams may struggle. Let's go with the Jets. All right, so there's our draft. Guys, there's our draft. We were able to go through that quickly, but wasn't the most exciting draft, I'm not going to lie, but it wasn't terrible. Especially with the ratings now. We have 4 guys in the draft, but end up with the 73 overall, 69 with hidden development though. So his development, he's going to shoot up there. We had a 6'6" wide receiver, a free safety that was more of a dud, but he just, adds some depth, I guess. He's 21 years old also. Then we get a fullback that we did need. So there is our draft. Quincy Wembley, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he could wear number 81. I may edit these guys' accessories off camera, but I'll make sure they have their numbers so you know what numbers they have. So really not worried too much about our linemen, but let's see if we give him a number in the 70s. He's just for me. Let's give him 70, I guess. Justin Peppers, number 25. So he's wearing Chris Thompson's old number. Just fine. Then we have Max Smart wearing 44, which is definitely a fullback number. Let's see. There's a couple of guys who I was interested in. But the overall picks, you see Brandon Agnew. We went through the first 10 already. Roseman was on my list. He's a 74 overall. See, we could have been one of these teams that got a 66 overall. Of course, as the Raiders would. 66 overall in the first round. I still have to get used to these ratings and really how they're figured out. Literally, right before we picked, Kent Phillips went. He's a 79 overall. Normal development, but he's a 79 overall. Not bad. Not bad. Quincy Wembley, he could have been the highest rated guy, period. And can we sort by overalls? We can. All right, so yes, he's the number 1 guy, period, in the draft. Choice was very good. A couple of Quincy Wembley, though. He's up there. Marvin Cruz, this was the running back that we were looking at. We probably weren't going to draft him, but he has good development. 89 speed, 81 trucking, and he went to the Steelers. They have a lot of running backs, but that's a decent fit. Blair Murray looks like the top quarterback. Hidden development, coming in with a 71 overall. Doesn't have the accuracy you want. Throw power is decent, though. So these are basically these are the top guys, really. But I don't know. I don't think it was awful. There's Dallas Herbert right there. I don't think it was awful. Coming in to preseason, let's see. This is pretty much how we are stacking up. And it's probably how we're going to roll with it. AJ Green, of course, at outside. Let's see if he's wearing 18 just to make sure he is. So cool. So, yeah, AJ Green on the outside. Paul Richardson on the other side. Trey Quinn still at slot. Of course, we have an actual fullback now to go along with Darius, to block for Darius Geis. That go along with. We have a left guard who Eric Flowers in our schemes is 61. So, yes, we're going to go with our guy with high development who's a 60 in our scheme. And then defensively, yep, we have Hamilton. Reuben Foster is finally back, so we get to see Reuben Foster. We have Ronald Darby on one outside. Aqib Talib is going to play slot for us, so we'll go ahead and move up Dunbar for now unless we sign another cornerback. Yes. I don't think it was awful. I don't think it was the greatest offseason in the world, but I don't think it was awful. Specialist. I have to do this off this. Okay, yeah. Well, we're going to make Aqib Talib, though, our slot cornerback. So yeah, I may mess around with this. I'll show you guys what we end up doing in the next episode. Don't want this to be overly long, but that is our team. So we moved up from a 75 when we started to a 76 after the morales, now up to a 77. That has been our off season. So I think we're about we're at an hour. So we'll end this here. You guys let me know in the comment section below how you guys felt this offseason went on this list. Who should we go after? If we should sign any of these guys at all. Maybe trade Waynes. Maybe we'll keep what we have. I do want to bring in another. Well, so we for sure need to bring in another quarterback. So out of these guys, out of your Matt Barkleys and AJ McCarron, maybe he's the guy we should go with. Who should we go with out of these quarterbacks? So that is one question. The second one is, who should we go with as a backup to Darius Geis? So not our third down back, but our actual running back. I want a little bit of power. Just remember that when you guys are giving me suggestions. But which one of these guys should we go with to sign? Let's look at trucking. Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware isn't that bad. Carlos Hyde isn't bad. Yeah, which one of these guys do we want as the second running back? So definitely let me know that in the comment section also. So I'm gonna get out of here. You guys let me know. Wasn't a super edited or polished video, but I hope you guys got the essence of the off season and what we, we're trying to do, and kind of my angle when it comes to building this team. So of course we'll do the 2 preseason games per episode, and then we'll get into the regular season. But you guys let me know how you guys felt about the off season, where we should go with some of these moves. Maybe we should trade somebody. What was disappointing? Because we did have some disappointments in the draft as well. Maybe we could trade for a running back. We do have some extra late round picks, so that's always a possibility when it comes to us trying to find somebody that we could potentially use. So yeah, you guys let me know. I'm out. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.